So really you could be good if you were in another religion, because that good would be based on the true God, the Christian God's good, and the humans making that religion were expressing that good in them from God, the Christian God.
Yeah, in a sense, in the same sense that all of my atheist friends do good.
Right.
Right?
But they're doing good because of Christian God's good, not in their own ideas of good, right? So the good that exists,
Right.
no matter how it manifests,
Right?
is from the Christian God, right?
It's from the living God who
Right.
created us and who gave us a conscience, who gave us a rational mind. We're created in his image,
Right.
and therefore, even if we're atheist, we're still created in the image of God.
Well,
we still
even
have
if
a
you're,
conscience.
a wide range of different religions
Whatever.
all have the virtues that Christianity does, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of them do.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would say that those religions are acting out the Christian good, not their religious good, right? Like if I was a Hindu and I was following the virtues of Hinduism, but happened to be the good, commandments of Christianity, I'd be doing the Christian good, although I was following my own religion.
Yeah, I don't know that I have to say it's Christian good.
Right.
The way I would say it is, because there is a God
Right.
who's created us in his image, all of us are hardwired that we know the difference between good and evil. Now, we can
humans
sear
are
our
innately
conscience.
good. Would you say that humans are innately good then?
No, would say humans now, today, are innately mixed up. At times we all do good, at times we all do evil.
Right.
See, Jesus did not divide the world into good people and bad people. Instead, he divided the world into people who think they're good and are self-righteous, arrogant twits, and those who are humble and realize, gosh, I've tried to do good, but at times I've failed, therefore I need God's grace. I need God's help. That's how Jesus divided it.
Right. Okay. So
See, and that prevents us from being religiously arrogant and saying, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm better than you, an atheist. Baloney. It's quite possible that if you're obviously I don't know what you are, but if agnostic, okay, that it's possible that an agnostic lives a more moral life than a lot of Christians.
yeah, I would.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I would argue that that's because every human being created in the image of God has a conscience, a rational mind.
I just don't know if my morality is
Yeah.
based, like, I don't know if it is innately like the Christian God's reality, morality that's in me. I think
Right.
morality is something that you can put it this way: if you just as a thought experiment,
Yeah.
if you go through morality in a way in which, like, you think about it and you think what is good, what is evil, right? And you think about the societal ramifications of your actions,
Right.
and things in those manner, right?
Good.
In that manner,
Yeah.
you can come to the same conclusions
Yes,
from the Christian Bible, right?
exactly.
So
Yep.
you can be good in a vacuum, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Okay, and we agree on that. So humans with consciousness, which I'm sure you'd argue is from God, but I would say I don't know if it is a Christian
Right.
asset.
Right.
I can be good and still go to heaven. That's my question.
No.
So even
Because-
even if I fulfill the Christian doctrine but don't believe, so that's the one part I don't fulfill, can I still go to heaven?
Okay. Remember I told you, Jesus does not divide the world into good people and bad people.
Right.
Instead, he divides humanity into those who think they're really, really good. In other words, self-righteous.
Right.
You can be a self-righteous agnostic, you can be a self-righteous Christian, you can be a self-righteous atheist, you can be a self-righteous Buddhist or Hindu. I am really good.
So the distinction is self-righteousness as opposed to God, right? Like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Now, here's the distinction. Self-righteousness
Right.
versus humility.
Right.
Yes, I've tried to do good, but at times I have failed.
Right.
If I ever meet a person who says, I always do the right thing, I'm going, oh no.
Well, why can't you be humble in doing evil? Why can't you say, well, I do the best evil I can, but sometimes my evil doesn't fulfill itself. I tried to kill everyone, but I only killed like a few.
Right.
Like.
Right. Because I would argue that when you do evil,
Right.
that is arrogance. What you're basically saying is, God, you don't define good and evil, I do.
Right.
And I have defined that this evil is a good thing to do, so I'm going to murder. See, in other words, I'm convinced that moral relativism is the quickest way to deify my opinion.
Right.
Because a moral relativist says, whatever I say is good, And if I change my definition...
I'm not more relativist, right? Because I do believe that humans have the capacity for good universally, right? And so, and if they think about it logically, they will get there, right? So I'm not a complete moral relativist.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? Why not?
If there is no God, there can't be a moral absolute.
No, but that's my point, is that even if there wasn't a God, if I'm understanding the notion that there isn't a God, I can look at different societies and say, well, look, if they spent the time to think about it, they could enact rules that were very similar to the virtues of the Bible, right, for the best, situation that their society could come to. For, like, the virtues of other religions, right?
Yeah, but you believe there's no God.
No, right? I'm agnostic. I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
So, if it's possible that there is no God, then there are no moral absolutes. Everything's relative. We create right and wrong right up here, or culturally.
Yeah, but we can think it out. That's my point. Is that, and the people have thought it out.
But wait a second. There's many different African villages and cultural norms. One being genital mutilation, and they think that's good for humanity. So why ethnocentrically are we going to step in and say that's wrong?
No, I'm not saying we should.
Well, but you just said cultural norms in different cultures. We can continue to think. And all of a sudden, we'll get to the point of saying
like that,
we're going to be doing the good for everybody.
I would say that's not an absolute, but I would also say that, like, in most societies and communities, general murder is considered a bad thing, right? And I'd say that's kind of a moral absolute across human society, because we are humans and we're a societal-based, like, we're humans. We're a societal-based communal, species.
It's culturally relative. If there is no God,
I'm saying some things are culturally relative. But
everything is if there is no God. Fred, if there is no God, our number came up in the Monte Carlo game. It's a cosmic crapshoot, this thing called life.
It is, isn't it? What makes it? Why are you so sure that it's not?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I'm convinced to the root of my being that if I pull out a knife and murder him, that is absolutely evil.
No,
I am convinced that the abuse of an innocent child
this is not about that.
Is never good.
Why are you convinced that this is not a random occurrence? You're saying everything is a Monte Carlo event. Why? What makes you so sure that it's not?
No, I'm simply saying not everything is a moral absolute, but there are at least a few moral absolutes. The abuse of an innocent child, the rape of a woman, me murdering him. Those are 3 examples of absolute evil. Not because I'm an educated, rational person, but because there is a value of justice separate from him and me that can only exist if God exists, because it's got to be defined by a mind.
No, but see,
why?
That's bogus.
Why?
Of course, no, it doesn't. That doesn't.
Because this inanimate matter, no inanimate matter, has the ability to define good and evil. It's impossible. You need a mind.
You're right, and we're all here defining good and evil together.
No. We all have different views.
We're acting it out right now. Like societally, the things that we're fulfilling are good for societal and for ourselves, and it worsens.
And you know what she better be very grateful for? That she wasn't born at the time of the Dred Scott decision. Ooh, big mistake. You're 3/5 the value of white folks, according to U.S. Supreme Court. Too bad.
No, you're right.
I'm standing here saying, I don't care about the Dred Scott decision. She is valuable because she's a human being created in the image of God. I don't care what culture says.
No, but
I don't care about the majority.
Not because of God, but because she's valuable. That's the
difference.
You don't have to use God to prove human value.
I'm the greatest. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. Why, Cliff? Because I affirm that I am the greatest.
You are. Actually, every one of us is here is the greatest. Mm-hmm. We just have flaws. Sometimes we're great, sometimes we're not.
Sir, that's a fantasy. A total fantasy. I am not the greatest. Just because I affirm that I'm the greatest doesn't make me the greatest. I affirm I'm valuable. That does not mean that I'm valuable.
Then why are you valuable?
Because God created me for a purpose. God gave me innate value.
But you have innate value without God, though.
How do you have innate value?
For a multitude of reasons.
Give me
because
one.
of your capacity to do good in the societal sense.
Well, that's
not
beautiful. Thank you for your altruism. That's beautiful.
No, that's
just your opinion. That's just your arbitrary opinion. It's relative.
But yours is opinion too.
Why if God created us for a purpose, then it's possible that we really are valuable. You take God out of the picture, you're up a creek without a paddle when it comes to explaining why we are valuable.